So this is a message to singles out there. Okay. So before I got married, God made me, I went through a season of my life that was very terrible, like extremely terrible. But within that season, God took a year out of it and made me focus on marriage. So I went to braid someone's hair, and then just in conversation, the person recommended a page to me, a channel to me, okay? And it was just talking about marriage. So I was like, why is she sending me this thing? Because I wasn't even thinking about marriage, whatever it is. I was just focused on whatever is happening to me at that point. So after doing her hair and everything, I went back home and I was very eager to watch these sermons. I didn't think that was going to be a year-long commitment to this channel. So I would go to school, come back and do whatever I have to do. Then the rest of the hours till I fall asleep was just commenting to that video. I was just watching that video back to back. So I watched all the marriage sermons there, and I realized that God was saying something to me at that point. The state that you are in, okay, if you go into marriage with it, you are likely to come out easily. What am I trying to say here? When we are single, it's the time for us to work on our character. Okay, if we should go into marriage with our true, authentic selves, we will be coming out very, very soon. And this is not to say that anyone, this is not just to, make anyone feel bad, whatever it is. If you come out of your marriage or whatever it is, I mean, we are still learning. We are people that are still learning. Okay, so that's fine. But once you come out of it, it's the time for you to sit and then, evaluate yourself and work on yourself. If everybody is playing their role, and here I mean by if everyone is working on themselves, I don't think that we would have too many problems in society when it comes to marriage. So today, whilst I was eating, God said something to me. He said, love is growth. Okay. So God loved us so much that he had to learn how to understand us by giving us Jesus Christ, who came to experience what's happening on earth. And that's how come he's been given the opportunity to judge us and also speak on our behalf as our faithful and loyal high priest according to the Bible. God cannot be the one to judge us. He can't be the one to be speaking on behalf, because he hasn't experienced the human, the things that we experience on earth. Christ is the one that has. So love is growth. Okay, what do I mean by love is growth? Do not think that you're going to get married because you love the person. Love exists in relationships. And in relationships, I'm talking about dating, courting, and all of that. Not even courting. Let me just leave it to dating. Love exists in dating. Once you decide that you're going to get married to this person, let that perception change. The journey changes. It no longer becomes a lovey-dovey, conversation. It becomes, am I willing to help this person become who God wants him to be? Am I willing to help that person, that lady, to become who God wants her to be? Okay, it now becomes a different conversation altogether. The lovey-dovey just comes somewhere in between. It's just like the cherry, okay? But the actual cake is about growth. You'll be bumping into each other because there are areas that both of you need to grow. So what God was trying to tell me here is, you, for example, let's say you are a good communicator, okay? But the person that you merged with or you're paired with might not be good at communication for one or two reasons, but you are also good for one or two reasons. Okay, this is an opportunity for you that is good at communicating to grow. Don't think that there's no room for you to grow because you think that, oh, I'm good at communication, so I'm done in that area. No, you have to learn how to grow. Why am I saying this? Because you have to learn how to understand that there are people who do not know how to communicate, unlike you. So how do I, fashion myself in such a way that I can help this person grow? That is your growth. On the other hand, the other person is going to say, or is going to say this way, he or she is good at communicating. I'm not good in that area. How do I also leverage this opportunity to learn from her so I can grow in this area? This is how we should be seeing things instead of thinking that, oh, this is how I am, take it or leave it. This is how I was groomed. This is how I grew up. This is how my mom did it. This is how my dad did it. This is how my grandma did it. This is how my grandfather or a guardian or whoever did it. That is not that is not marriage. Once we begin to behave that way, we begin to behave like children. Okay, so marriage here is about growth, and that growth is equal to love. Because if you love somebody, you have to grow to understand them, to help them to get to the point where you think that it's good for the two of you to have a successful marriage. If both of us put our price down and learn, we will have no problem. We'll just be, supplementing each other for us become better, the better version or the best version of ourselves. So your aim to marry should not be because I love her or because I love him. It's because I'm looking for somebody that can help me grow. Somebody who is willing to help me grow, and somebody that I'm willing to help them grow. That's the reason why most people get disappointed, because they feel like, oh, I married her or I married him because I loved her. I thought she was this or she was that. But at the end of the day, you realize that you married an incomplete person. I'm incomplete. My husband's incomplete. Your husband's incomplete. You are an incomplete person. We are still learning. Okay, so love is not equal to lovey-dovey. It's equal to growth. So let's change our perceptions. So singles, begin to work on yourself. Don't only be looking out for somebody who is Mr. Right or Mrs. Right. There's nothing like that. You yourself, you're not right. Okay, you might have learned a lot of things, but you just learned that for yourself. But it's now time for you to accept that there's somebody opposite of you, that you have to help them become a better person. That is your area of growth. Okay, so we all mature in marriage, but let's change our perception. Love is equal to growth.